Another week of amazing plays by wideouts across the country. Week 2 in the NFL left me hanging on the edge of my seat because of how crazy the game of sports can be. The comeback by the Jets under a minute and 40 seconds left and being down 13 to winning the game by 1 in regulation was nothing short of a miracle. How about the Ravens defense giving up huge plays to one of this week's wideout of the week, Tyreek Hill, tied with Jalen Waddle, who used his speed to get behind the defense for touchdowns of 60 and 48 yards on back-to-back possessions. The Dolphins entered the fourth quarter down 21 points to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, with plays made by arguably the fastest duo in the NFL right now. You can see why both wideouts took home the Wow Awards. Waddle scored the game-winning touchdown and finished the afternoon with 11 catches, 171 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His All-Pro teammate Hill finished the game with 13 catches, 190 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tyreek leads the league with 284 yards, and his counterpart is currently third with 240 yards, respectively. Waddle is first in yak yards after catch with 116, and Hill is second with 104 yak. I'm sure they will continue to be headaches for opposing defensive coordinators. They have the ability to break tackles, shake defenders, and run past them. Only Tua can stop them because he's the one delivering the rock to the outstanding playmakers at his disposal. Cooper Kupp continued to add to his legacy by catching 11 passes for 108 yards and scoring on 2 sweet plays. The first was a tough over-the-shoulder catch in the left end zone that Kupp made look easy. His second touchdown came via a swing route to the right side where he shook a defender out of his pants to score his third touchdown of the season. I'm loving watching Cooper line up in the backfield and run hitch routes against outside linebackers, then line up at slot, catch a basic, and back to the backfield to catch swings for touchdowns. It's poetry in motion watching him prosper in McVay's genius. Stephon the Man Diggs. Had the Miami boys not did what they did to the Ravens, Diggs would have earned back-to-back Wow Awards. The young lad had a hat trick, and we not talking hockey. Scoring 3 touchdowns in one game is nothing short of extraordinary. Diggs has had back-to-back 100-yard games, ending Monday night with 148 yards on 12 catches. The Bills are looking scary. They were without number 2 wideout Davis and still scored at will. Tennessee had a disaster of a third quarter when Kyle Phillips, rookie from UCLA, who I began training as a 9th grader in Southern California, muffed a punt. That turnover led to 2 Ryan Tannehill interceptions, with one leading to a touchdown. The other top 10 wideout from last week's list didn't have performances worth mentioning. Justin Jefferson got locked the fuck up by Darius Slay of the Philadelphia Eagles. He twice picked off balls intended for Jefferson and had 2 breakup balls that should have been intercepted. Slay owned Jefferson in every aspect of Monday's night game. To stay on my radar of relevancy, Jefferson will have to bounce back over the next 2 weeks to get mentioned when I compile my first quarter top 10 list. Devontae Adams was another one who got locked down. Although Adams managed to score, he was held to 2 catches for 12 yards on 7 attempts. Honorable mention. I like what the rookie first-round pick out of USC, Drake London, is doing. There's something about his game I didn't like in college, but I see why he was a first-round pick. Standing at 6'4" and weighing 215, Drake's a big boy and possesses a huge size advantage over DBs. He attacks the ball at his high point, and I saw him hurdle a defender this weekend. I'll keep my eye on him, and who knows, he just might make my list at the end of the season. I didn't think Christian Kirk was worth the money that was paid, which led to a market reset, and some wideouts wanting a raise because of his contract. 4 years, $72 million. But he's currently number 7 in yards with 195 and has done that on 12 catches to go along with 2 scores. The Jaguars are not known for having an explosive offense, but with Kirk's ability to stretch the field and rack up yak, This will help put wins in the box score if he's able to keep it up. The next wideout who I can see cracking my top 10 is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Naturally, I have a soft spot for him because I coached Amon in high school and began training him as an 8th grader while working with his older brother, Equanimeous St. Brown of the Chicago Bears. Together, we lost one game in the finals against St. John Bosco and won a national championship against the same Bosco. I was able to watch Rob work and taught him some things that would make him successful wide out. The numbers he put up in high school were ridiculous if you consider St. Brown only played past halftime in 6 out of 29 games. During those 2 seasons, he had 2,529 yards on 132 catches and 44 receiving touchdowns. I believe he had 3 punt returns for touchdowns, but I only counted the ones he had at wide out. Against the Washington Commanders, he caught 9 balls for 116 yards and 2 scores. He became the 3rd wideout in league history to have 8+ catches in 8 straight games, joining Antonio Brown and Michael Thomas of the New Orleans Saints. He set a record with 6 consecutive games of 8+ catches and a touchdown. Ra is definitely someone I can see climbing his way into my top 10 by season's end.